I have pretty much two mini hauls to share today. So I started the For Love of Polish subscription box this month. So this is the January um, subscription box. It's two polishes, one by Polish for Days and one by Polish spelled with an AH. I have a few other polishes spelled with an AH. This is my first Polished for Days. And this quarter, I think it's 3 months, but it might be four. The inspiration for the For Love of Polish box is Ghibli Studios. So I will definitely be keeping up the subscription until the end of the Ghibli Studios themed ones, and then I'll kind of reevaluate and decide if I want to keep it or not. I do really like the polishes, but I already have the Cuticula subscription box, and I don't know if I really need to be getting two boxes per month. The other mini haul I have is I made my very first purchase from Hella Handmade Creations, which is very similar to Polish Pickup. It's a collaboration of a whole bunch of different indie polish makers, and then they have kind of a pop-up online shop that's for, I think the Hella Handmade Creations is for 4 days in the middle of the month. I will look that up and either put it in the description or a comment because I want to give people correct information. But I kept seeing this one by Polish called Jadis, I think. With Hella Handmade Creations, the Polish makers decide their own themes that they do for a few months at a time. I kept seeing this one and I was just really, really liked it. And of course, polishes hate to travel alone. And I've been wanting to try out Garden Path lacquers. And I saw this one, which is The Pleasures Remain. It says Encore. So the purchase from Hella Handmade Creations was from December. And the For the Love of Polish is from January. They came at about the same time though. So I got a little bit mixed up. But I made this order in December, and I've been wanting to try the Garden Path lacquers. And so this is an encore. So I guess at some point in the past they had made this and people really liked it, so they brought it back. It's this really beautiful deep blue base, and then it has some purple flakies, and it has just this like glowing blue shimmer. It dries down matte. So I've put it matte here. But I will show it both matte and glossy. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. And I am going to try swatching on just my thumb and see if that's maybe a little bit easier on my nails than swatching my forenails. Mostly because I have a patch on my middle finger here, and so I want to leave it alone as much as possible and give the break a chance to grow out. So I'm going to start my swatching with the Hella Handmade Creations. So I'm going to start with Pleasures Remain from Garden Path Lacquer. That bare spot is user error. I was kind of overworking the polish. See if I can make it be in focus. There we go. That was user error. I was kind of overworking the polish. This is the first coat. So I had a little too much on my brush and then I overworked it. So I'm going to let that dry down a little bit and then I'll fill that in and then I will do the second coat. I kind of fixed that user error so you can see what it would normally look like while it's still wet in the first coat. So it is a tiny bit streaky, but not bad at all. And that's just the first coat, so it has great coverage. Okay, this is the first coat, and as you can see, it dries down matte. It's not completely dry, but it's dry enough for me to put the second coat on. I am planning to let it dry down matte on the second coat and then put a glossy top coat on so that I can give some comparison pictures. I'm probably going to mostly wear this glossy just because I like glossy better, and I think it shows off the colors and the flakies better in the glossy state. I think that is just beautiful, especially in its glossy state before it's dried. It might be kind of cool to do some nail art where I would remattify like half the nail or something. So here we can see it, that's dried down matte. So now I'll put some glossy top coat on. I'm at a bit of an awkward spot. I'm standing up next to a bookcase, which is where I have my filming set up. And this is how it looks glossy. It's beautiful in both states. So I'm definitely happy with the purchase. I just think I'm most likely to be using it in the glossy state. Oh, the top coat that I'm using is the Sally Hansen Dries Instantly. It's kind of my go-to quick dry top coat. It's definitely on the more affordable end, and it works quite well. It dries very quickly, and it doesn't really shrink up the polish underneath. Okay, now I'm going to swatch out the polish. I think it's pronounced Jadis. And this was the second one that I purchased from Hella Handmade Creations. And it's just a really, really pretty light green, and then it has this beautiful shimmer. Yeah, that orange shimmer is showing up so well. It kind of gives the kind of like the lit from within illusion. So this is the first coat, which it is a bit streaky, partly because I'm not using ridge filler when I'm just swatching and gonna take it off right away. But I think it will even out on the second coat. And it's a very light color, so it might need a third coat. But just looking at it now, I think it would do fine in two. But I guess we'll find out soon. Yeah, so that's a good opacity at the second coat. Having my light shining directly on my nail is kind of showing a lot more streakiness than I see in person. Um, Although the streakiness would probably not be there if I was using ridge filler. Yeah, I think I'm going to pop on a third coat. Although I think the way that I normally prep my nails, I would be able to wear this in 2 coats with no problem, even with my nails at this slightly longer length than normal. There we go. I also moved my light just a little bit so that it's not directly on my nail and really showing all the ridges. A little bit of off-camera cleanup. I had some, oh, I still have a few stray glitters. That's okay. Yeah, I'm very happy with this polish. Okay, so now moving on to the For the Love of Polish box. I'm going to start with this polish, which is called Valley of the Wind. The inspiration is the movie Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind. It's one of my favorite Studio Ghibli movies. Well, actually, almost every time I mention a Studio Ghibli movie, I'm going to say, oh, that's one of my favorites, because they're all really good. But I really do like Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind. I think it was one of my dad's favorites of the Studio Ghibli as well. He was a very big Studio Ghibli fan. So this is just a tad sheer on this first coat. Although it looks really pretty that way. You might you might want to. Yeah, so this is the first coat of the Valley of the Wind. It's a tad sheer, but it actually makes kind of an interesting, I think ethereal is the word. So it might be kind of fun just in one coat. Yeah, that really deepens the color. And you get a lot more of that shimmer. Although again, it's beautiful in both states. I will probably mostly wear this in 2 coats. So now I'm going to swatch the polish for days. So the For Love of Polish came in a cushion mailer, and this one came in like kind of a little extra bubble wrap, and this one came in the Polish for Days box, which is really cute. You can see that the heart outline matches up. I'm going to be in kind of a hurry because my husband just came home with my son, so I'm kind of out of time. But this is the color that I'm already wearing on my other fingers, so I actually just prep my thumb the way that I normally do for a manicure. I have a base coat and then I put on some ridge filler. So this one is called A Winking Light, and it's inspired by My Neighbor Totoro. And let's see if I could get this better in focus. So right now I'm wearing it in 3 coats on all. And this one is really a chameleon. I will try and get some natural light pictures as well, weather permitting, because it looks pink with just like a ton of these green shimmers on the first coat. And in some lights, it's kind of how it looks. But in other light, it looks the way it does in the bottle. It is fairly self-leveling because you can still see where I have the patch, but it's really not that noticeable. I definitely notice it because I know it's there. So let's put on a second coat of a winking light. So here is 2 coats. It's still just a tiny bit sheer. So that's why I put it in 3 coats for the rest of my manicure. I'm going to put the 3rd coat on and then my quick dry top coat. And that green shimmer just absolutely glows. Normally I give it a bit more time to dry, but before applying top coat. But it sounds like I am needed. So here we go. This is 3 coats with a glossy top coat. So this is 3 coats of a winking light with a glossy top coat, and it is definitely a great first impression of the brand. I'm in what I call my sampling era, where I just want to try lots of different indie brands. But I'll definitely be getting the rest of the Studio Ghibli collection, and I will probably end up ordering from Polish for Days at other times as well. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.